It's Madden NFL 22, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bills and the Vikings coming up next.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Vikings coming into play, they've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
Turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. For the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-to-1 as opposed to the 2-to-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Yep. On play action, Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Allen's throw takes Diggs, and he's brought down. The numbers for Diggs from a week ago. Comfortably up over 100 yards when cruising past that number, and 2 touchdowns.
How'd you like to be the D coordinator this week? He watched that game last week, and I know his first thought was, we have to find a way to take him out of the game plan. We cannot let him do that to us.
Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That'll be taken in by Beasley. Touchdown, Buffalo. Cole Beasley. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a it doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row. You get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-to-1 as opposed to the 2-to-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Yep. Get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move it back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 20 carries, 80 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there. They go play action here on first down. It's caught. Smith. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go for it all. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So here come the Bills out for their second drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back and He's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Throwing is Allen on third. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And I'll tell you, the effort's sensational, but he may have come up a foot or so short of the line he needed. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills have taken the lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They're sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Cook on the first down carry there as he works his way forward for a gain of about 4. So, CD, you talk about this football team, and some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here, and then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
Rolling to his right. And he fires one incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They'll look to throw again. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. So they'll come up in 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Put puts it on the carpet. It's out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. I'm not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. Devin McCourty brings him down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On play action, Allen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. 2nd and 21, a lot of ground to cover. Another try after the 1st down sack. Allen finding Knox there, complete. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Taking it about the 16. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. The Vikings on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. They'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. 7 yards, the pick up there.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. Give him a yard on the run there. That's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years at not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
On second down, it's Cook, and he gets it down to the 32.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. They're going to look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Finding room to the 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front. Completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
From down at the 12, it's first and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Osborne. Touchdown! KJ Osborne with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now this time he'll look to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. Powering forward and able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. Second and 4. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Osborne. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right, and he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Short kick. One of the up men will take it now. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. A final shot before half for Allen. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it was the Packers who get the win at home. Jordan Love leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, let's head to the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, to check in on the Broncos. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown there. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Justin Fields, a touchdown pass in the victory. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Buffalo in that first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
65 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Boy, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. Give to Cook out of the gun. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one.
That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Singletary again. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, relief. We got something going in the running game. Throwing on first down is Allen. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Singletary. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Allen now looks to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Been a good leadership and a good distributor. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Now a run with Cook. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there. Excellent. Because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial gain.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And down inside the 15 he goes. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adrian Peterson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. To throw again on second down. Allen and Beasley with it over the middle. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Devin Singletary certainly capable of breaking off some big runs, and he got loose on a big one there.
And there was so much that was impressive about this play, but it wasn't just what he did downfield. How about what he did behind the line of scrimmage? This wasn't a play where he just had a direct path to get him downfield and make the big play. He had to adjust on the fly behind the line of scrimmage, and in the end, that became a tremendous run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Johnson's got it complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it. Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let... And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Bills will take over possession here up at the 44.
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They go right back to Singletary. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
109 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Allen.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
On 2nd and 10. Allen, he's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. Now Allen, gotta have this one. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete. The Bills drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down.
The Cook getting the call there on first down as he works his way forward for a nice gain of 5.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
That's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
And defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
How much were they? A dime?
15 cents.
So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal to start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And meanwhile, Allen's throw going to be caught by Davis.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Allen's throw here pulled in by Beasley.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So the shotgun snap to Allen.
And he'll get this underneath to Singletary.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
And that's on the guard, Cody Ford.
Here's Allen to throw it. Finding Knox there, complete. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Brings up 2nd down at the 32-yard line. Allen going to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Going to throw deep for the end zone.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now.
The kick by Bass is good.
And this is back down to a 7-point game.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
124 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Quick throw caught by Godwin.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
2 yards the loss, second and 12.
At the 47-yard line.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now. Down 27-20, a minute 52 to play. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10. Throwing is Allen. He gets this to the former Aztec, Kahale Waring. A gain of 6 there on first. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Allen. Into the hands of Singletary. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now Allen. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Singletary, they'll run for it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Carlos Basham in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
58, right over there.
They're going to look to throw. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, but it's 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's fielded at the 45. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So all eyes now on Tyler Bass. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So all eyes now on Tyler Bass. This from long, very long range. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And that changes everything here in OT. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25. Buffalo offense back out ready to go.
Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hook up right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A big gain there for the Bills. Defensively now, the ultimate challenge. Of course, the ball gets in the end zone. This thing's over.
And I remember my coach has always talked about in goal line situations, and now you're in overtime where they have to keep them to 3 points. Otherwise, this thing is done. Win your individual battle within the framework of the team defense. Beat that guy across from you and make a play. I expect them to attack on defense and not sit back.
Moss again.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing.
And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans screaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for Buffalo, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.